When I was a junior in high school, I had to take an emergency trip to the bathroom. My stomach was really upset, and I definitely had some sort of stomach bug going on. As I was dashing through the hallway, trying to make it to the bathroom in time, I started to hear a whistling sound that was coming from the other side of the hallway. As I got closer to the bathroom, I realized that whoever was whistling was in the bathroom. I didn't think much of it, other than that it was a slight inconvenience for me, as I was wanting the bathroom all to myself, considering I was literally going to blow the toilet up. I ran to the stall and did my business uncomfortably. The entire time, that man that I barely even saw, might I add, stayed in the bathroom. I must have been in there for like 10 minutes at this point, and there's no telling how long he would have been in there beforehand. I started to think that it was probably the school janitor, but I really wanted him to leave for obvious reasons. I wanted some privacy. The whole time he was whistling and humming while I was midst going number 2. Gross, I know, but this is what happened. After I finished up in the stall, I walked out to wash my hands real quickly, all while trying not to make eye contact with the man that was in the bathroom with me, as I was kind of embarrassed. I also had to hurry back to class because if I were to be gone for too long, it's very well possible I could have gotten into some trouble. Then what happened next threw me off guard completely. The janitor then started walking over towards my direction, and he stopped after being no more than a foot away from me. He was so close that I could feel him breathing on me. I felt a tingle on the back of my neck, and I was so uncomfortable that I had no other option other than to look at him. "What the heck, man?" I said. He had this stone-cold look on his face, and then shortly after, he gave me this extremely disturbing-looking smile that I will never forget. I made my way back to class, and I was puzzled. All I could think was that guy was crazy. I texted my friend about it when I got back to class, and he told me how he had a similar situation with that guy, the same exact janitor. He told me he knew he was a creep too, so we planned on talking to the principal about him that day, but we never ended up following through with that. After school, me and that same friend I was just talking about, Elias, and another one of our close friends, Peyton, all decided to walk after school. That was something that we did a lot. Usually we would go to nearby restaurants or fast food chains, or even the park. We did all kinds of stuff after school, and usually it was the most fun we would ever have. This day, we decided we were going to go to this diner that we all loved. We had to walk through this trail that started on school grounds and opened back up in a nearby neighborhood in order to get to this restaurant. Well, we didn't have to take that way, but it was definitely quicker and a way more fun route, so 90% of the days we walked after school, we would take the trails. Elias and I started talking about that creepy janitor, and Peyton started to chime in as well. He knew the janitor that we were talking about, but he never had an experience with him. We were telling Peyton just how creepy that guy was, and he started to understand. I kid you not, though, it was like us talking about him. The janitor spawned him there or something. Not literally, but it was like crazily ironic and weird. Up in the distance, we noticed that there was a man ahead. "No way," Peyton said. "Dude, isn't that him? The janitor from school?" We all stood in fear and confusingly looked at him until we could all make out that it was him for 100% certainty. "Hey, let's turn around," Peyton said. I didn't even say anything to that. I just continued moving forward, as did Elias. As we were walking past him, he then stopped and stared at us, but we kept walking. The janitor then yelled for us and asked if we would like to hang out. Okay, so not only was this man a janitor at our school and supposed to be an authority figure, but he was really a creep. He also had to have been at least 55 years old. Why the heck would he want to hang out with a bunch of kids our age for? We just ignored him and we picked up our pace a little bit. But he then started jogging towards us, and it was at this point that we started to full-on run. He then began screaming at us, and when I looked back, I saw that he had a knife in one of his hands. We all screamed for help and ran for at least 5 minutes, and shortly after that, we seemed to have lost him. We later found out about who he really was the next day at school. Me, Elias, and Peyton, and our parents all went up to the school and reported the situation to the police and to the principal. It turned out that the school had no idea who this man was and that he wasn't a school janitor. He was a man pretending to be a janitor. I don't know how we got away with this, like getting inside the school and all without being detected for so long. It's quite ridiculous and scary if you ask me. They really need to double down on security because school is supposed to be a safe place for kids to learn. It turned out that the man was a convicted sex offender as well, and that he has been abusing minors for years now. He also had a court order to where he had to stay a certain distance away from kids, but that didn't stop him. I personally think he was going to take it a step further this time and try to kill one of us. Some people are so messed up in the head, I can't even begin to comprehend.